Hey guys, it's Sarah. Welcome back to my channel and welcome to another Sims 4 speed build. So today we're doing another build in San Sequoia, the world that came with the new pack, the Growing Together pack. And so this house is a little complicated, and it's not really complicated at all, but it is not my favorite build that I've done. Terrible way to start a speed build. But yeah, it was originally going to be a starter home. And so that's how I built it. At this point, it's still being built like a starter home. I'll tell you guys, well, I don't have to tell you guys. You guys will be able to see when I decided to change it because I was actually pretty much done with the build. And yeah, I had finished it. I had already finished it and I was looking at it and everything. And I just didn't like the interior. I didn't like the exterior. There was just nothing there. And so I decided to just change it into a regular build. So that's the story of this little house. But this is a 30 by 20 lot. I'm pretty sure it's a 30 by 20 lot. And I think that's part of the problem because this world doesn't have a lot of smaller lots. I want to say 30 by 20 is the smallest lot that we have with the new world. And to me, that's a pretty big lot when you're talking about a starter home. And so, yeah. If you guys have seen many of my builds, you probably know that starter homes are not my strong suit while I'm building. And so I just had a little bit of trouble with this one. I mean, I feel like the exterior looked alright. It's when you get into the interior that it started getting a little bit complicated. But yeah, it was pretty empty in there. But anyway, right now we're just working on the exterior. So as you can see, it's a pretty small little house. I was trying to add this little window because I like these modern windows that came with the new pack. That's my favorite. But then I ended up using the other windows because that's what I had used at the front of the house, and I kind of had forgotten that I had used that, and I didn't want to mix those styles because they don't really look alike, to be honest. And yeah, I don't know about all that, but I had to go back and change that, but that's fine. Because like I mentioned in the last speed build I did, using those are a little bit complicated anyway, a little bit more complicated than I thought it was going to be anyway, but I had a little bit of trouble with the exterior because I kept wanting to like do a wraparound porch, but then I didn't want to add a roof to it because I really liked the little window situation I had going on the left side of the house, I guess, if you're looking at it from the front. And so yeah, I didn't want to get rid of that, and so I kind of just kept going back and forth on the roof for a while and the porch area, and then I'm going to end up getting rid of the roofs altogether, and it's just like not a covered little porch area. It's more of a stoop. But then I went on and added the bigger part of the porch up on the front of the house, so you guys can see that now. And then this area is kind of next to what is it? It's next to a park. I was gonna say splash pad. I don't think it's actually a splash pad that's over there. I think it's just some like kids playground equipment maybe that's off to the side of this lot. And so I thought that it would make sense to have a little bit of something to kind of provide some privacy, because if this was, more realistic and not The Sims, you wouldn't really want your house just opened up beside this public area, or at least I wouldn't think so. And it doesn't really matter because it's just The Sims. But anyway, that's why I placed this little fence that you guys can see. I was kind of trying to recreate what was around the neighborhood, kind of around the house to the side of it. And so, yeah, that's what that's about. It's kind of plain, but I felt like it made more of a natural barrier from the house to the community area, if that makes sense. But I am going to add some more landscaping in around the house. I didn't add as much landscaping as usual, and I don't really know why. I don't think I was in a good building mood today. I actually built this today, and I'm doing the voiceover at the same time. And I just really needed to get a house done, and I've been building really slowly lately, so I thought a starter home would work out well, and then it ended up taking, a good amount of time anyway because I just keep going back and forth on some things. I'm sure you guys know what I mean. Even if you don't build, I feel like even if you do like casts or maybe not gameplay, but more than likely you guys know what I'm talking about, when you just feel like you constantly have to go back and change something, or you feel like something's not working. And so today was that kind of day for me. The inspiration was just not there, and so the love for this house is not there either. I mean, it looks okay in the end. I think the reason that I don't love it is just because I kind of started out wanting it to be a starter home, and then I abandoned that, and so it doesn't totally look finished in any way in the end. I don't know. You guys can let me know what you think. I hope you guys enjoy it as always, but this is definitely not one of my favorite builds. And when I decided to not make it a starter home, when I went back and started adding in some more decorations on the inside, I kind of was okay with the interior. It's very small. It's a very small house. So when I was building this, I was building it kind of for a new couple with a baby. And so I have, a full bed, or it could be a single parent too. It really doesn't matter, but it's very small either way. You can't have too many people happening in here because it's very small. So I have this full bed, and I have a crib. Yeah, a crib for the infant or the baby. I'm not even sure which, to be honest. I have not explored any of the updates a lot, so please forgive me if I'm just completely wrong about everything. But anyway, that's kind of what I had in mind, was just a starter home for, a new family. And you can see we're working on the interior right now. So I have the crib in the regular bedroom, and it's really cramped. And I mean, it's fine. I think it all would have been functional and everything, but it is a very, very small house, and it's a very small space. And so I just wasn't in love with it. But when I changed it, which you guys will see in a little while, but when I go back and change it and kind of add more decorations, I changed the layout around as well, and I just open it up into a studio space, so the only thing that's enclosed is the bathroom. And I feel like that helped a lot. I mean, it's not super realistic because I don't know how many houses, like suburban houses, would be in a studio style like that. It'd be more like an apartment, I guess. But you know what? It's The Sims. It doesn't matter. It's fine. But this is the part of the video where I decided to go back in and kind of beef the house up a little bit and change it from a starter home, because you guys can see from the side of the house, the yard, it's sad. All I could come up with to do was add some trees because I was completely out of money. I went and checked, and 2 adult Sims and an infant got, I think it was 24,000 simoleons that you start out with. And I was at 22,000 something. And so there just wasn't anything else to do for the yard, and I didn't know what to do with it. So I just scrapped the whole starter home, and I came back in and said, this is me redecorating it. Most everything stays the same. I just added a bunch more decorations and stuff. And like I said, I changed the layout a little bit to where there wasn't an enclosed bedroom. So you just have the bed and the little infant area, kind of nursery area, is off to the side. I'm kind of realizing now that when I deleted the couch, there isn't actually anywhere for your Sims to sit down and eat, but you could always add a table. There are some picnic tables outside. In the end, I added some picnic tables outside, so maybe every meal could just be a picnic. I don't know. Clearly, I'm not great with small homes, but I'll try to get a little bit better at it. I'm trying, but I think I just need to abandon starter homes in general, because I just clearly don't like building them, and I feel like I always give up on them. And then you kind of get this weird house that is an in-between. So it's kind of plain, but it's not totally plain because you started adding more furniture. I don't know if I'm the only one who does that. I probably am. But for the yard, when I went back out there to decorate it a little bit more, I still didn't really know what to do with it, because I didn't want to add a bunch of playground equipment or anything like that, because the only bed in here for a kid would be an infant. And so it didn't make sense to add a bunch of, like playground equipment and monkey bars and stuff like that. I did add a swing because I was kind of desperate at that point. I think I've mentioned this before, but I'm really bad about getting tired of a build kind of at the end of it. And so I just start wanting to be done with it. And that's probably when I should take a break and just come back to it when I feel more like building. But I don't ever seem to do that. I kind of just power through, and then usually the last maybe 1 or 2 minutes of a build, I just don't like it. And that is this yard area for this build. So I didn't want to add a big fence around this part of the yard because it kind of went against what was going on the back of the yard and the other side. And so I didn't want to add a fence, but I wanted to have, a few family things. So I ended up adding this tent from Outdoor Retreat. I did grab a toddler slide and a swing set because I figured, you know what? The little baby's going to grow up at some point. And also maybe this Sim couple or the Sim has nieces and nephews that are older, and so they just have some playground equipment for them. But I think it looks a lot better than it was when it was a starter home. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this build, and I hope you have a wonderful week. And hopefully I will talk to you guys soon with another speed build.